Hello, everybody. It's been an interesting week watching some of you send me what you consider to be an appropriate effort grade for yourself. For my students, at least, the average was about 1.4. So, you know, if you had a graph with the actual average, which is 3, and then you put in my students' grade, you'd have a pretty skewed graph, I guess. But the fact is that most of you think that that's what you deserve. And at first I was a bit puzzled by this, but then I had one student write to me just an email with just the number 1. And then he immediately sent another email and said, maybe I should actually ask for a 2 because I haven't really been trying as hard as I could. And then I think I began to understand that what effort grades mean to all of you is the extent to which you feel you have been trying, how hard you have been trying. You know, I can almost hear you saying, well, given all the anxieties I'm experiencing and everything that's going on, I feel like I've been trying really hard, so I deserve a 1 or at least a 2. So I get that, and I understand it. The only problem with this, of course, is that your teachers don't really see effort grades as a way to determine how hard you feel you've been trying. Effort grades actually are based on a series of expectations, the things that are involved in learning aside from how well you do on tests. So things like coming to class on time every time, making every effort to make sure that you don't miss any classes, making sure that you get your prep in on time, participating in class. So essentially for your teachers, effort grades are a judgment of how well you're engaging in your learning. Very different than this idea of, well, I feel like this is how hard I've been trying. So let me say a few things about that. One is that our feelings about ourselves and how hard we're working aren't necessarily the best judge for ourselves, not necessarily the best criteria, because of something that psychologists call ego bias. Because all we have is our own experience. We know how hard we're working, and somehow because of that, because we don't know what other people are doing, we tend to think that we're working harder than we are, or putting more effort in than we are. Or sometimes we think that we're putting in less effort than we actually are, depending on how we're feeling. But the point is that our feelings about our effort are not necessarily the best judge, and that's why your teachers are asked to come up with a number to help you to kind of get a sense from an external source, perhaps, of some of these issues around engagement, being prompt, being on time, all of those things. So that's one point, is this idea of ego bias. The second thing is that I think sometimes we think effort grades equate to the idea of trying. And you know what Yoda says, you know, do or not do, you know, there is no try. Or as my mother-in-law used to say, trying is lying. You know, do or don't do. Because when we say we're trying, you know, when a whiny Luke Skywalker tells Yoda that I'm really trying, Yoda, it means probably that we're not actually trying, or that we're trying, but we're not actually doing. So it's not about trying, it's about doing. It's just about doing our best and not really worrying about, you know, what level, what kind of degree of effort we're putting in, but just to do as well as we can. And the third thing, of course, is that to think about, and remember, grades are just a snapshot. You know, we do tend to get a little bit excited around grade time. Grades are just a snapshot of how we're doing in the moment. And of course, as you know, in the end, no matter, you know, as important as grades may be, they're not the most important thing. The most important thing is the learning and the skills and the knowledge that we end the year with. It's that accumulation of new insights, new knowledge, new understandings that's most important. So there's a few things for you to consider as you receive your grades this week. And we'll see you next time.